Okay, so today we are going to learn about Bodmas. Bodmas is a very simple term, it's not difficult to learn. So basically there is Bodmas. Mostly people actually refer to it in a simple term, that is D mass. But usually they refer to it as Bodmas. So what does Bodmas mean? Bodmas means that, say for example, B stands for brackets. And then there's O, it stands for into. And then there's D, it stands for division. And then there's M, it stands for multiplication. Then there's A, it stands for addition. And then finally at the last there's subtraction, that stands for S. Okay. So in brackets there are three types. They are square brackets, they are curly brackets, and there are round brackets. So basically we'll start with division. We'll start with D mass. So I've explained to you earlier that D mass basically consists of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So if there's a sum, say for example 12 plus 9 minus 1 into 6 divided by 3. So basically D mass is referred to in order of division, that comes first in this sum, then there's multiplication that comes second in the sum, and then there's addition that comes third, and then finally there's subtraction that comes fourth in this sum. So basically if you want to solve the sum, some people might actually do like this. They'll go with 12 plus 9, and then whatever answer comes by that, they'll go with minus 1, then multiplied by 6, and then divided by 3. And then teacher gives you a big 0, and then you wonder why the teacher do like that. Well, that's because you didn't follow the rules quite perfectly. You see division comes first, so we'll solve that. 12 plus 9 minus 1 into 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then comes multiplication, 12 plus 9 minus 2. Then comes addition, so 21 minus 2. And finally subtraction. This is the correct answer. Next. Now the types of brackets. There are three types of brackets as I've mentioned earlier. There is a square bracket, there's a curly bracket, and there's a round bracket. So say for example I give you this sum. Really? Oh, okay, I'll just tell you the meaning of it. So square bracket comes first, or let's say third. The curly bracket comes second, and then finally there's a round bracket that comes first in the sum. So say for example if I were to give you this example, so it's not really of a big deal, like it's not that big that you'll just start shivering with terror. It's a really simple sum, trust me. So say there's this square bracket and then this curly bracket. So whenever you see this kind of example, you first go with the sum that is inside these round brackets. So you solve the sum, the product inside these brackets, the round brackets first. So it's 36, and then comes the curly brackets. So then you have to solve whatever sum there is inside the curly brackets. You could actually even do like this. You could remove the curly braces and just simplify it. This would be and then you remove the square brackets, and then finally you get the answer 3. See, it's not difficult at all. Now let's go order wise for what you have to do first, whatever sum you have to do first. So there's this round bracket which you have to solve first, and then there is this whole curly brackets that you have to solve when at first you have solved this sum, and then when you have solved this whole sum inside these curly brackets, then comes the square brackets divided by 6 in this example, and then finally the brackets get over and there's this simple sum, and then you get the answer. Okay, so let's do some examples. Okay, so when you see the sum, the first thought that should come in your mind is that I should actually solve the round bracket ones. So 11 plus 2. Then you might have to solve the curly braces, 57 minus 13. Which is 80. See, it's that simple. Oh, sorry, this should be 44. So this is 88. Not simple at all. This is very simple. Okay. Now on to the second sum. Okay, so this is really simple sum. So first you have to look at the round brackets, you have to solve them first, then the curly braces which you have to solve second, and then finally there are these brackets which you have to solve lastly. So we'll go on with the sum. First solve the round ones, so this would be 60. And then according to the Bodmas rule, division comes first. So then we'll solve the division part first. And then secondly you have to solve the curly braces. Then you remove the 60, the curly braces, that's around 60, and then you get 100 minus 60, which is 40. Not so difficult, huh? Now on to the third sum, which is so firstly we are going to solve the round brackets first. That should be the first thought that should enter your mind. So then according to the Bodmas rule, division comes first, so we'll solve that first. and then finally you get the answer 7. Okay, now as much as you want to solve the outer part of the sum, you should always remember to solve the first part of the sum, that would be the square brackets, the curly braces, or the round brackets. Now in this case there is only round brackets, there are no curly braces or square brackets, so we're gonna do the braces part first. But in this also, according to the Bodmas rule, multiplication should be solved first. So 5 3s are 15 divided by 11 into 5. The most important rule is that you should solve all the brackets first, you should oversimplify them, and then finally you could go on with the rest of the sum. So 40 plus 15 is... Now according to the Bodmas, you should solve division first, which is 5 into 5, and that's 25. On to the next sum. Okay, if, say for example, if you get sums that do not have square brackets in them, nor let's say curly braces, nor round brackets, it's not always, you know, appropriate that it's not always this that in every sum there should be every kind of bracket possible. So there are sums which have 2 brackets or even 1 brackets or no brackets at all, or all 3 brackets at once. So now when you see the sum, the first thought that should come to your mind is that the round brackets should be solved first, then the curly braces, and then finally the outer part of the sum. So first we'll solve the round bracket part first, and in the round bracket part first, according to the Bodmas rule, you should solve division first, multiplication secondly. So we'll do that, and then finally, to simplify the round bracket, we'll just subtract it and we'll get the answer 30. Then according to the Bodmas rule, division comes first, then this will be 5. Then finally we have to simplify the curly braces part. So 20 minus 8 when it comes out of the bracket, because it is simplified, so there's no need to, you know, do something else with it. And then 20 minus 8 will be 12. So I'll just write it for you again. Okay. And O means off and B means brackets. Before solving any sum, you should always remember that you should always write Bodmas above the sum you're doing, on above every sum in fact, so that even if you get confused, you could actually see this word and then contemplate that division comes first, the multiplication comes first, or addition comes first, and subtraction comes first. So to the next sum. Okay, so the next sum is okay. So the first thought that should come into your mind is that round brackets come first, that you have to solve all the sum inside the round brackets first, and then there's curly braces that you have to solve second in the sum, and then there's finally square brackets which you have to solve the last in the sum. So let's solve the round bracket sum first. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. Then you have to solve the curly braces that are the second part of the sum. And finally you have to solve the square brackets. So 25 into 36 is 900, and that would be 1000. Thank you.